Hello everyone. I hope that everyone had a great weekend. So today we will learn about an interesting recent technology. Now, if you see my screen, what do you see? What are these? Yeah, you're right. These are some companies, some startups that we hear all the time, or once in a while, right? So if I ask you, what is the driving technology for the success of these startups? You can open your microphone or you can type in the chat. Okay, I see quite a few of answers. So yeah, you are right. I think some of the technologies that you mentioned, there might be many different technologies that help these companies to be successful. However, these companies I saw are being named as the big data top successful companies. I think these are the companies, they make use of big data and that made them successful. So top big data success companies. Okay, if I ask you the same question in a different way. So what is the technology that is a focus for quite some time? For quite some time means for quite some recent time, and especially in your domain means the domain that you are studying. Okay, again, it's big data and the related technologies. Hadoop, big data, Spark, Hive, or many other related technologies, right? Okay, so what is the core technology of big data? What is the core and the underlying or first big data technology? Again, you can chat window or microphone, yeah. Okay, I think looks like a good number of them are right. Yeah, it's Hadoop, right? What is Hadoop? Hadoop is a distributed file system, right? File system like FAT32, NTFS, extended 4, it just files are organized or files are kept. It's a system that keeps track of this. So Hadoop is a distributed file system. If you put a data or file into a Hadoop, it will divide it and distribute over the entire file system. Okay, so we're talking about Hadoop. And it's a big data technology, one of the core big data technology that, yeah. So what is the primary concept that Hadoop uses? Okay, I think it probably is the other way around. It's not that what is the primary concept that Hadoop uses, or it actually is the primary concept that uses Hadoop technology or on top of Hadoop technology. Okay, yes, you are right. That's MapReduce. Okay, what we can say, MapReduce. Yeah, we'll explain it more if time permits. MapReduce is a computing platform, computing style, right? That takes the data into computation node. So individual processes that does some work on individual data and then combines it, the reduced part. Anyway, so that's the topic for today. In this session, in this 15-minute session, we'll just give you a feel for Hadoop and MapReduce. We'll not write any code, we'll not configure anything. What we will do, just give you a very high-level familiarity and feel and experience with Hadoop. So just the way a developer deals with Hadoop and how to execute Hadoop job. So that's the focus of this session. Okay. So before that, I can go to this URL and see. I want to see how much the class knows about the Hadoop, MapReduce, and how to work with a Hadoop job or Hadoop platform. Just take the quiz. Okay, it's for just 1 minute. Okay, everybody is done. So the quiz was about Hadoop, MapReduce, name data dot this, right? Okay. So assume that we really had this quiz and this is the result I see. 50% is completely new in big data and Hadoop. 40% has some familiar with the concept, not much with actually working with it, and 10% tried big data and Hadoop related concepts, and 5% are very comfortable. Okay, that's quite understandable. So yeah, that's why we're here. So in this course, we will be giving the Hadoop and big data technologies, how to work with, how to deal with it, how to write job or script with it, and how to work with it. And for this session, because some are already familiar with how to work with it, so you will get some more information here for sure, and you can take it also it as a practice session that will help you. And this will be mainly focused on the who are completely new, give more information for them, more explanation, and so that they can come fulfill the objective of the course and of this session. And who are very comfortable, for sure, you can contribute and you can help whoever is struggling beside you. And if you have any further question, you can ask. We can try to give you advanced answer, and we can give you some more resources so that you can go to the next step. And also we have big data AI related groups and forums and communities. You can join them. That way you can take your existing knowledge into next step. And for this session, some Linux is important, and looks like most of you are familiar with Linux and have worked well with. So yeah, for the rest, it will not be a big problem. We'll be showing the required information as you go. Okay, so just to clarify, the purpose of this session. So we'll be explaining the very basic and the most important concepts and try to show the concept visually, and also a demo video. I think I will give you to watch a video where I executed a Hadoop job. That's the main focus of this session, right? So I want you to see the video and get the overall feel of it. Try to see how the different steps, and then we will do it together, step by step. I will do, you will also do along with me. And if you have any questions, for sure, I will try to explain and give you more information. And also you can discuss with your classmate who is around you without taking much of their time, and provided they have done it well. They have progressed, finished it, right? Anyway. And yes, at the end, there will be a assessment, how much you could understand whatever I have explained you. So put more focus, put just here, what is that again. So any question? And if you're worried about the platform, the code to run, when you'll be doing with me, actually in all the computers, all the code and all the files, everything are kept there. So don't worry about it. So just try to listen and try to watch the video, and we'll do it together and everything will be good. And if it were a small class, so webcam on could be preferred, and you can definitely use your microphone on only when you talk. And for sure, you're about to ask questions, open your microphone, ask, or you can also put your note on the chat box. So now little theory, not too much, just the core concept, important concept in short. So what is big data? Anyone? Okay. I hear quite a few important points about big data. Yes, you're kind of right. I think I will not give the perfect, accurate definition here. It will be just on a very high level and almost okay, almost correct answer. So big data for sure, as you told, it's big, huge, that a traditional computer or traditional server cannot handle it easily. More importantly, traditional technologies are not sufficient with this data. Also because of the nature of this data, how it is being generated in social media, in hardware, the way it is being generated, the type of data it is being generated, and the volume and the velocity, depending on everything, the storage mechanism, processing mechanism is not sufficient. So we needed a big set of processing and storing and distributing technologies to process this. So that's what the big data is about: volume, velocity, size, different types, image, video, structured, non-structured. It does not have to be consistent. All those in together make the concept big data. So what is Hadoop? Okay, I mentioned lightly. Yeah, you can explain for sure. Okay, yeah, that's right. So Hadoop, right? Hadoop is a distributed file system. As you told before, we want to be able to deal with big data and to store it and to process it. So in Hadoop file system, the data will be divided into chunks and will be distributed across different nodes so that the computer can come to the data, or data is taken to the computing, whatever we see. And on top of Hadoop, there is the concept of MapReduce computing engine, computing approach that works. So data is chunked into different nodes, the mapping part, and then the reducer will be there to process on the data to give the final output. So I think to give you an example, let's say, as you told, we'll execute a Hadoop job. So the job that we'll execute, that is trying to find out the top 10 words in a huge amount of file, huge large size text file, the top most 10 words. So we'll divide the data, big size data. It will be distributed in many different nodes in chunks, and then Hadoop will process, find out the count the words and find out the topmost data. Okay. So why do we need to distribute data? I think it's about big data. We need to divide it so that it becomes easier for the processing, and we can process big data. That's the short answer. Anyway, so any question? Yeah, I think we don't want to go too far from what is the focus of this slide or of this session. So yeah, just within this context. Anyway, on another note, so the MapReduce computing platform, computing approach, we usually write two scripts. One is mapping, another is reducing. Mapping, it divides the data in such a way so that the processing, the reducing becomes easier. Like reducing, counting all of the word and finding out the sum, that is the reducing part, so that it becomes easier. Mapping, it will chunk the data that way. So it will find out all the different words and put a count around it, just one. And there is a in-between step that we call sorting and shuffling, so that key value pair word and corresponding count for particular mapping, particular node. And that happens, and then the reducer will get those properly mapped and combined and sorted data, shuffled data, and the reducer will do the counting. So there will be shuffling so that eventually all the same word comes in one place. And a reducer will get all the information for a particular word from all the mapper. All the mapping and the reducer will be sorting, then reducer will be doing the processing, final counting, and put it in the out file. How many mapper reducer? There are some internal configuration. You can also configure. I think will not go that deep in this session. Okay. This is the Hadoop internals. I think I already have discussed. I will not give much. I think in Hadoop system, you can see that there are a name node. It keeps tracks where the data is going, and the data nodes, the replicated data. And I think in today's architecture, in server, there will be many different servers, in many different racks. You can just a CPU box. Yeah. So there will be data distributed, replicated. Okay. Name node, there is a secondary name node, and there will be some other processors that will be doing some sort of management jobs, and client is you. You are executing, the data is distributed, reducer and mapper is working, and then everything is processing and the output is there. So yeah, I believe you guys are good, right? Any question in the chat? Okay, I think I have answered. Yeah, sure, you're right. Okay, some of the questions, it looks like that it's better that we wait for when the time is come. I can answer at that time. And I think getting the feeling of executing Hadoop job, that's the goal of this. So, okay, now go to this video link and watch the video. Watch in 2x speed, and after you watch the video, then we'll come back. I'll give you just 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes should be good. Okay, now that you have a high-level overview how everything goes, and you sort of know the steps, now we can do it ourselves. Before that, So anyone has any question in the steps, or you just want to go with me? Okay, on a high level, I think we'll be executing the Hadoop job, two part, mapper and reducers. There is a main command, the primary command, Hadoop jar, and the Hadoop program that will do all this work. Simply, then we have to introduce the mapper file and tell it that it's a mapper file. Just -file, mapper file, mapper file name. Then again, -reduce, -file, reducer file name, -reducer file name. And the -input data file, -output, where the output will be put the folder. Input data file, a text file, a large text file. The notice, the input text file will need to be on the Hadoop system. On the Hadoop system, output will also need to be on the Hadoop system. Think when we work, the machine that we get, the client interface, that's a Linux, and Hadoop, in our case, it will be on the same virtual box or same computer using a HDFS file system that we can think about remote to get a feel that it's separate from our lookup. And the reality, yes, they will be distributed on many different servers and racks. So those are not, that does not have to be in your computer, but in our case, it will be in your computer. So the input file will need to be pushed to the Hadoop system. There are some other command like Hadoop FS, Hadoop DFS, get, put, those kind of things to interact with this Hadoop. From our local to Hadoop file system, interaction will have to be using those commands. Anyway, so let's do it together. First of all, you can go to the Oracle VirtualBox, click on the start, and then Oracle VirtualBox. It is there. Okay, right click, click on start. So everybody is there. Yeah. So you know it, right? And start VirtualBox, and then you just click on start. So after you click on start, it will show you this. So it is just telling where to go to interact with Hadoop system or to interact with Hortonworks-based systems. So to execute, we need shell command line access. So we'll need to go to localhost 4200, right? So you can use Party or you can use Bigwin or similar. I'll be using Chrome. So if you go there and use root as the username and your student ID as the password, it is being configured for you for today. We'll know how to configure Hadoop platform later in a separate class. And then you go to here and then example 2. So everything is here. Everybody will have here. So everyone is there. Okay, sounds good. This is our mapper file. This is our reducer file. So we don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. Let's say the test.txt. We'll be using it for some verification that our Python mapper script and reducer mapper script is working or not, for the verification of that. Okay. So the input data file that will be on the HDFS. It is not here. It is /user/root. I kept it there. I think, yeah, we want to get a feel. We don't want to know everything at this moment. So this is the Hadoop command that will execute the mapper, and it's a Hadoop jar, and then the mapper file, reducer file. We're introducing them as mapper and reducer, and thus input file is kept on the HDFS. Output is also on the Hadoop. So 005 is there. Each time you execute, you give a new folder to keep your output data. Okay, while it's being executed, after it executes, it will put the output in a file So we'll bring that file into our local from HDFS using Hadoop DFS get command, and then we'll see that internally it will be showing us the top 10 words. Top 10 words in those text file. Anyway, so while it executes, I can explain you another thing. Okay, let's say, so okay, it's already there, so we can just go there and see. So it's telling that the output is there. So Hadoop DFS get okay, it may say that the file already exists. Okay. So if we say cat out1.txt, so the top 10 count and the word in, I think in order, I think the most frequent and the corresponding count. So we see that it could sort it and found out the details. Okay, I'm not showing the Python script. It's in your computer. You can see it. It's just a mapper is just dividing word and putting a 1 beside it. Okay, and reducing, that's doing the sum. There is just some sorting and shuffling. That's Hadoop is doing on its own. We don't need to write anything. Okay. Now we have to save that if the mapper screen can also do it. I think we are using Hadoop so that it can delete big chunks of data, big file. But the same Python script should work even locally with a small file. It can work with the big file, but not too big. Yeah. Okay. So this is the file content. Mapper divided it into the corresponding word and corresponding 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. So I think we probably will be having a sort, right? Sorting, shuffling, it's part of this. So yeah, it is sorted. Okay. Now we can see how now we can use the reducer. We can see if it can reduce and give us the topmost 10 words and sort them accordingly. Okay, so sky is 3, is 2, C2, blue 1, so it can do it. Okay, that was the purpose. Just to be able to work with a Hadoop and how overall it feels. Okay, thank you very much. And depending on the program, you can write the mapper, you can write the reducer, and then you can execute it like this. So for this type of problems, that is the new thing. And writing the code, yeah, it's almost kind of old way. There are no, I'm not saying completely old way. Yeah, if you wrote parallel programs using MPI, OpenMP, yeah, the same concept will be usable here, and your previous programming knowledge for sure will be useful here. And there are other technologies like Hive, Peak, Spark, Mongo, other technologies that you will need to learn to be good at big data and do job in this field. Anyway, that's all for today. For now, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Bye.